It's like, well, isn't it all about the one who was betrayed doing the trusting? No, they have to be able to trust that they can love them, that they can see them as other than judging them.
Right.
And that takes work on both parties. And among the things that takes, you can get to forgiveness, I think, without having to understand that much about what someone did. Do
Hmm.
you know? I can forgive someone who did something and I can just say, I don't know. My poster child for that one in my book is a woman I worked with many years ago. I never met her ex-husband. Her ex-husband had been unbelievably violent. And it was one of those stories where it took amazing courage for her to get out of that relationship with her kids alive, literally. But she did. The ex was in prison, and she clearly had forgiven him.
Yeah.
Didn't mean in the slightest she wanted anything to do with him. She actually kept a gun by her bed. It's like she was prepared to kill him if she needed to.
Right.
She didn't want to, but she was prepared that. But she wasn't angry anymore. She just thought he was nuts. She didn't really understand him. She just figured he's bonkers.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with him. That's a way of dealing with forgiveness. But for trust, if you're going to want to stay in relationship with someone, you're going to have a way of understanding that a good person, a person you can view as whole and good as yourself, could have done that.
Hmm.
It's really there's a massive amount of empathy involved in that. It's like, wow, if I were in your shoes, would I have done something like that? A lot of times people have trouble with that. It's not No, you probably wouldn't have because you're you and they're them. But can you imagine that? Can you imagine what the ingredients might have been? And when a couple can do that work, that's how they can feel like, wow, we've learned what we need to learn here. And we're not going to be in that situation again.